Corpus, and then I did it all the way down to Far, Texas, out right there on the Riverwalk. Riverwalk out down there in the mud in the water. So there's still a bunch of it around. 14 inches of rain down there. Yeah, of course, it was something they weren't prepared for, but anyways, they were. Well, let me get out of here, but now plants are back home, safe and sound, and between Corpus Christi and Victoria, unless you drove 35, and it's Sea Route 35 down there to Rockport and all that along the coastline, that is a boring drive between Refugio and all the way from Victoria to Corpus, but you got Refugio there and you got another little town, and there's that's it, but that stretch between Refugio and Corpus is a long stretch of nothing. And the same thing once you get past Kingsville, basically, all the way down there to Arlington, that's a long stretch of it was on the King Ranch when you were on 77 there, over. Yeah, there was some stretches that we were on, so it wasn't great. It was kind of coming from San Antonio down to Allen, from down over to Laredo, down to town, and then Arlington, and then over to Corpus Christi and Victoria, and back up. Now, that was a couple of day ride. It was nice and early. You went down from Laredo. You was on 83 there, and you went down through Rio Grande City and McAllen and Mission and all that area. And I kind of like that area, but it is fast moving, and they've got a lot of their freeway done. That number 2 was under construction, along with the construction going on to 281 there, but they got that done. Anyways, let me shut up. I know there's some others wanting to tune up, and I'm barefoot. I'm running 100 watts out of the radio anyway, so yeah, we're running that. I can only monitor 7 to 18 here, over. Good. I've been on the same outline and I'm dropping out on the station in and out. So good job. India call PI 1040 and back to the next. W5PIX, Waco, Texas, standing by. W2WLD, WA6LJS. WA6LJS, W2WLB. Good morning, John. Boy, the band's not doing too well today. Over. Yeah, you're better than the first time I heard you. You were about an S5, and now you're up to S7. But we're copying you, but not your usual strength. Anyway, I'll be standing by. WA6LJS. W2WLB.
W2WLD, W5ABI. You're S9 this morning, Bill.
Yeah, you're about an 8, Joe, over.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, it's good from here to you, but yesterday you were good, but the rest of the people, I had to use the SCR.
Yeah, I don't know what we do some days without the web SCR site. It's handy tool, W2WLD.
Yeah, W5ABI, standing by for net. WA6LJF, W5ABI.
Yeah, good morning, Joe. You're 10 over. Good signal. W5ABI, WA6LJS.
Yeah, you're S9 plus here, John. Thanks for the report. W5ABI, standing by for net.
KG5PT, standing by for net.
Good morning, Jim.
Good morning. Everybody sounded good this morning.
Yeah, you're good 10 over.
Roger, roger. I heard Frank in there, N5GYY. I was just curious if he missed all the storms.
it's just the last time you do the house, and fulfill all 5 years. And east side of that, and it's going up there, and like you put on here in West Mountain, it's pretty healthy storms. And other than that, the weather was actually real frosty. It only ended up riding in the rain a couple of days.
Yeah, Chief. I saw where one went through Louisville last night, and I was sure thinking about you.
The XYL is hunkered down in the base on the 21 lift, and one kind of push down here is down probably southwest coastwise, maybe 8-10 miles from the house.
All right. Well, I'm glad y'all are okay. Yeah, we got some stuff moving in tomorrow and Saturday night, and I'm sure I'm worried about this hex beam holding up. They're telling us it's going to be pretty severe through here the next 48 hours. KG5PT standing by for net.
Good, yeah. It's still standing and it's still pointing in the right direction. Tango mobile. Check in.
This is Whiskey 5 Oscar Golf. The Air Force's Flyers Club net starts up in 1 minute.
This is K2SJ, standing by for the Air Force's Flyers Club net.
Good morning, Bob.
Morning, John.
That was W5OG, but anyway, good signal, big signal, Bob.
Okay, good morning, Dale.
10 over in Las Cruces, Bob, W5ABI.
You're booming in here, W5ABI. You're doing real good. K2SJ.
That time of the morning, let's go ahead and get the Air Force's Flyers Club started this Thursday morning. This is Whiskey 5 Oscar Golf. I'll be net control for your Air Force's Flyers Club net this Thursday morning. My name is Dale, Delta Alpha Lima Echo, and I'm located in East Texas, about 100 miles east of Dallas, out in the country. We meet on this frequency at this time every day. Members of our group are active duty, retired, and veterans of the military Air Forces from all branches. We include air crew, ground crew, air traffic controllers, and support personnel, pretty much anyone that helps get aircraft or missiles in the air for all of our armed forces. We also like to welcome visitors to join us at any time on the net. You don't have to have any aviation experience or military experience in order to participate. The purpose of our group is to promote fellowship between those of us radio amateurs who spend a portion of our lives supporting the missions of our armed forces. This is a control net. Contact net control. Please use the words contact, relay, info, or check-in. We do have a nice website. You can find out all about us, airforcesflyersclub.org. I say again, airforcesflyersclub.org. Format for the net is we will use a list that is on NetLogger. We do have NetLogger up and running this morning, so if you want to join us, you can first you have to install the NetLogger program, but assuming you've already done that, you can log in there, and then we will see you, or we will also take over the air check-in. And doing the net logging duties this morning is Lee again in 5BE. Thank you, Lee, for that. Also, we do have a Echolink node, and we'll be monitoring that for those that have a hard time getting on HF. And that's at AFFC under the conference node of Echolink. And I see Don is in there, so good morning to you, Don, K0ZNC, and I think John is going to bring you in. All so far on the list. Hold, stand by. Okay, so John is going to bring in Don there, but so far on the list, I have the following stations. I've got let me put K0ZNC top of the list. He's in there now. Good morning to you, Don, if you're hearing me. And got Uncle Cliff, W5DIX in the Mobile, and Lee in 5BE, my neighbor just to the west in Arlington, Texas. Got John, my neighbor out farther west at W6LJS in Jamul near San Diego. And Bob, K1BOB, the commander. Good morning to you, Bob. And Frank in 4GYY, safe from a motorcycle trip around Texas there, back in Louisville, Kentucky. Big signal as always, Frank. Glad to have you with us. And Captain Bill, W2WLD up in New York. Got Russ, K8 Alpha Foxtrot. Great call sign. And we've got Professor Bob in X6RG. And Mike, KF0OPE up in Nebraska. And Jim, W6WAY. Then we got Joe, W5ABI. Then my younger brother Brian, WB5DRI down in San Antonio. And Mike, KQ6E. I've got Charlie, K4YDB. And Charlie is running the live stream on YouTube. You can watch the net in progress, and he'll have the question of the day posted there on YouTube. If you go to YouTube and then type in Kilo 4 Yankee Delta Bravo K4YDB, you can select live stream. You'll be able to watch it from his perspective there in his nice station. Plus see the question of the day. You don't have to write it down or anything. Let's see. Also, we've got Bob, K2SJP, big signal there from Florida. And James, KC5PGE down in Belton. And Jack, got the KM4CAX in there this morning. Let's see. Steve is in NU5D. Good morning to you, Steve. Glad to have you join us. I don't see you on the list yet, but I see that you're on the AIM window there talking with James, so that's great. Glad to have you with us this morning there, Steve. Let's see, there are others. There's some others that were on there that I noticed. W4JJF. I don't know, Lee. You don't have him on the list. He was online, then he checked us offline, and now he's back online again. So anyway, we'll put him on the list if you don't mind there as a visitor, and I will try and recognize him, and we'll see if he's there. All right, that's the list as I have it so far. I'll take over the air check-ins. Check-ins for the Air Force's Flyers Club Net this Thursday morning. Members or visitors, call now. W5OG.
Whiskey 6 Victor Alpha Hotel.
Well, W6VAH, we haven't heard anything from the VA hospital in Loma Linda there in a long time. W6VAH, who do we have this morning as the operator there? Over.
This is Daryl, Delta Alpha Romeo Yankee Lima. I'm a good friend of Harley. You know Harley.
I do. We haven't heard from Harley in a long time.
He's not with the club anymore. He kind of retired.
Well, my goodness. Well, you give him our best. We do miss him. He was a regular for a long time here on our net. So, Daryl, we're glad to have you, W6VAH. I'll put you toward the top of the list. We'll get you right away there. Thanks for checking in. Any other check-ins, call now, W5OG. John, WA6LJS, put a call out from the West Coast, if you would, please. W5OG.
Wilco, this WA6LJS relaying for net control for the Thursday morning Air Force Flyers Net. We're looking for check-ins, either members or visitors. Call now.
Kilo Bravo 0 Lima Tango Tango Mobile. John, I barely hear Dale.
Kilo Bravo Zero Lima Tango Tango. Larry's out there, Dale. Did you get him? I did not hear Larry. I don't know where he is. Of course, I've got the antenna toward the west. If he's up north, he'd be off the side of the antenna. But anyway, Larry, if you're hearing me, good morning to you. And we got you on the list. We'll move you up just behind Cliff. There's another mobile. Glad to have you with us. Any others, John? That's all I heard. Were there any other check-ins to the Flyers? Call now. No, just Larry. Back to you. All right. Thank you, John. Let's go ahead and go to Bill out on the East Coast. W2WLD. Put a call out if you would, Bill. W5OG.
Yeah, we'll do, Dale. If the band doesn't improve, I can relay in Larry, KB0LCC. I was hearing him pretty well. Break. This is W2WLD, upstate New York. Relaying for next control for the Air Force's Flyers Club. We're taking check-ins. Members or guests? Call now. Now it's quiet, Bill.
All righty. Thank you, Bill, for that. And let's get to the question of the day. Bob on his Monday net asked a question about how the world knew about the termination of World War II. We talked extensively about the surrender agreement aboard the the surrender ceremony conducted on the surrender deck of the USS Missouri in Tokyo Bay in 1945 there, September the 2nd. And I thought it would be appropriate to maybe ask one more question before we leave the subject. Anyway, today's question. The Japanese surrender on September the 2nd, 1945 aboard the USS Missouri at Tokyo Bay marks the official end to World War II. Which of the following Allied nations did not have representatives present to sign the surrender documents? Which of the Allies were not present of the following that I'm going to give you here? That's the question of the day. And the possible answers are A, the Republic of China. A is the Republic of China. B is the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. B is the USSR. And Charlie is the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Charlie is the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Our Delta is the Republic of the Philippines. The Republic of the Philippines. And Echo is the Dominion of New Zealand. The Dominion of New Zealand. Of those, which one did not have representatives present to sign the surrender documents? And the bonus question. After the conclusion of hostilities, the U.S. military had the monumental task of returning millions of service members back to the United States from overseas. Now that millions number, that's not mine. That's I got that when I was researching this. Seemed like a whole lot to me, but anyway, it does say millions of service members back to the United States from overseas. What was the nickname of this operation? That's the bonus question for the day. And the possible answers are A, Operation Gray Book. Operation Gray Book, or B, Bravo, Operation Homecoming. Operation Homecoming. Charlie is Operation Grand Slam. Charlie is Operation Grand Slam. Delta is Operation Magic Carpet. Operation Magic Carpet. And Echo is Operation Overcoming. Operation Overcoming. And further, the answers are matched. So it'll make it a bit easier for you. If you look up one, you'll have the other one. It's Alpha, Alpha, Bravo, Bravo, or Charlie, Charlie, as we're sometimes want to do if we want to make the question easier. So anyway, they are matched. All right, that's the question of the day. Do I have any questions on the question? Call now, W5OG. All right, let's go ahead and get the net started. Let's, as normal custom, start off with Don. Good morning to you, Don, up in Longmont, Colorado. We're glad to have you with us as always. John, WA6LJS, W5OG.
Okay, K0ZNC, Don, you're up. WA6LJS simulcast. WA6LJS, back to net.
All right, mighty fine, Don. Yeah, I copied all that. I think you yeah, I sent a copy of it all, but it was a little bit unsure. I think you said the Netherlands, which would be answer Charlie. You don't think the Netherlands was there. Is that what you copied to John over?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, we'll put him down for Charlie. And let's go to Daryl there at the VA hospital in Loma Linda, California. And like I mentioned, Daryl, we're very glad to have you back with us on the net. For those of you that perhaps don't know, the VA hospital is there in Loma Linda, California. Has an active amateur radio station, and the volunteers do put that station on the air, I think, daily, Monday through Friday, and they have a net, and if I remember correctly, it's, I'll let you answer that, Daryl. Where do you run your net, and what time does it start? You might remind us all. W6VAH, good morning, glad to have you with us, W5OG.
Okay, this is W6VAH. We're in Loma Linda, California, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 o'clock, Monday through Friday at 14.255. So, yes, if you hear us, give us a call on 14.255, Monday through Friday. I have to get going. I have to get the net started here, but I have to say that I was in the Air Force in 1957, and 4 years. I was a B-47 mechanic, and I have to get going, so I can't answer any questions. But my logging operator is here. He's Air Force, and I'm going to tell him about every day when he gets here on 14.290, he can check in with you. So good to talk to everybody. I have to say 73s. I got to get going for a net. Thank you, everybody. This is W6VA.
All right, mighty fine, Daryl. And make sure you say hello to Harley for us. We do miss him. He was very present on our net a lot, and we do appreciate that. And as Daryl mentioned, their net is at 9 to 11 there on the West Coast in the morning, and on 14.355. So there, you can go up, 14.255. 14.255, and it's BAH, Victor Alpha Hotel. 7-3, Daryl, thanks for checking in with us, and have a great day there. And best wishes to you all at Loma Linda Hospital. All right, let's go to our mobile out there, the first mobile, W5PIX. Good morning, Uncle Cliff. Where are you motoring to today, W5OG?
W5OG, W5PIX. Well, we are in Waco, Texas right now. Our loading is Kirkland, and yes, they are there, Dale. And we got to go on down to Georgetown and Austin, and then San Marcos to pick up load to go back up to our favorite senator, Bailey Hutchinson. I am going to go with Delta. I think the Philippines, they did not win. They had a lot of sour taste in their mouth during the, and of course I know China too, because Japan was in China, but I think it was the Philippines. So, Delta, and it's raining here, and I just started to cook up to keep it halfway comfortable there. So back to you, W5PIX Mobile to W5OG.
All right, Cliff. Mighty fine. You're not real strong this morning for whatever reason. I'm copying you on the Utah number 4. Probably the best there, but I did copy Delta, as did Lee. He's got you recorded there for your answer, so mighty fine. We'll move along. Let's go to Larry. KB0LTT, good morning, Larry. You're up, W5OG.
Well, Dale, I'm surprised I'm hearing you at all. I just stopped the truck here to do something back in the sleeper, shut everything off. I got a light copy on you. I doubt you're hearing me, though. Good copy on John and good copy on Bill this morning, but that's about the extent of it. Current weather conditions here at Wapaton, Minnesota, or actually Bridgeport, I think it's Bridgeport, Minnesota, Wapaton, North Dakota, Bridgeport, Minnesota area. At the Harry Stern Airport, I've got wind 310 at 5, overcast at 5,000, visibility 10, temperature 34, dew point 34, humidity 100%, and the altimeter 294. And as far as my guess on the question, I'm going to follow Cliff. I'm going to go Delta on this one. Delta on this one. Back to you, Dale. W5OG, KB0LTT Mobile.
All right, Larry. Yeah, man, just make sure you're not real strong on the Utah SDR, which is unusual. But anyway, it managed to hear Delta. Did I get everything? Was there anything else that he mentioned there, Phil? Perhaps you heard him better, W2WLD. Did I miss anything over?
No, other than the weather report, that was about it, Dale. W2WLD.
Yeah, I did copy the gist of that, 34 degrees and 34 and 100% humidity. All right, that's not a very pleasant weather observation. It's much warmer than that, of course, down here. You need to drive more in Texas there, Larry. All right, let's go to, let's see, I'll do you, Lee, and then I'll get a couple of these visitors. And we don't have the visitors have to stick around for the whole net. Go ahead, Leon, N5BE. Good morning. Thanks for the help, as always. W5OG.
W5OG N5BE. Good morning again, Dale. Good morning, everyone in that. I'm gonna put a commercial out for a YouTube channel, and I highly recommend if you're even mildly interested in the Pacific War, the good things that happened for our Navy, the bad things, and the culmination of the war. I highly recommend the Unauthorized History of the Pacific War channel. And John Parshall is on there as a guest many times. He's the preeminent naval historian for the Pacific War, and he debunks a lot of the myths that surrounded Midway. through some really, really good archival studies. So now we get into what ended the war. And by the way, they just finished a series of what happened between the last shot fired at Okinawa and the surrender. And I think they did it in about 4 parts, including the shore bombardment of Kyushu by our capital ship, air raids into Japan by naval, aircraft carrier launched attack aircraft, and then the events that led up to the surrender. So I cannot say enough about this channel because the research is there, the footnotes are there. So what ended the war? Well, on the civilian side, they were affected by the atomic bomb, by both of them. And it turns out the Japanese populace was close to insurrection at this point. But the military side was unaffected by the atomic bomb. They just considered it a distraction and a continuation of the firebombing campaign. So what ended the war? Well, there's another historian who did a deep dive into archival studies, and he claims it was the acquiescence of keeping the emperor on the throne in writing. So it did not end unconditionally. That was the condition of the Japanese, and Russia entering the war. That was so I think 3 things added up: the bombs, the keeping the emperor, and the Russian entering. Japanese are just terrified of losing a lot of their northern territory from the Russians. So on to this question. They did a whole thing on the surrender on the Missouris. I highly recommend looking at that. So I'm going Delta Delta. As you can see, I already put it in there. Love the question, Dale, and thank you again for always a thought-provoking question. W5OG N5B.
All right, buddy, finally. Yeah, I kind of struggled with it. I wanted to ask another question about this, and I don't know, we covered it pretty well on Monday, but I thought it was important enough to run it up the flagpole again and see who solicited, and I do appreciate those comments. And, I'll have some more to say about all this later on, but I do agree with that, your hypothesis there of the 3 things kind of coming together. I know that the acquiescence of the Allies, or the United States essentially, to allow the Japanese to keep their emperor was instrumental in getting them to agree to that. And I do agree with the idea that the atomic bomb use of that saved millions of lives. I don't think there's any question about that from both sides, especially the Japanese. They were, that their mindset is that surrender is just not something that's in their vocabulary. They just are not inclined to ever do that to the death, as we know. So there's no question that the atomic bomb was useful in saving lives. Anyway, that's probably enough of that. And let's go ahead and get some of the visitors, and we do welcome them to the net this morning. And let me go to Steve first, NU5D. Steve, glad to have you always on the net, so I hope we can hear you there. I'll listen on the SDR for sure. Go ahead, Steve, NU5D, W5OG. I don't hear him. Anybody hear Steve? NU5D, are you there, Steve? W5OG. James, do you hear Steve this morning? KG5PTE, is Steve there, over?
Yeah, I'm not hearing him, Dale. Back to net.
Okay, well, we'll leave him on there. Maybe he'll show up later. How about our North Carolina visitor, Whiskey 4 Juliet Foxtrot. Ken, you're up for the net. Good morning, W5OG.
And good morning to everyone on the net. Listen, this is Net Jim today, and had a good time this first event. I'm going to go ahead and check in today and just introduce myself. My name's Ken. I'm W5OG Dales. I went to the website yesterday and put it in the well, thanks for listening. Thanks for it. And go Air Force.
All right, is it like, it's Ken, but do you use Kilo Echo November? Is that correct?
I use Kilo Echo Tango Ken.
Okay. Kent, mighty fine, Kent. Glad to have you join us this morning, and super welcome to the group there. You got your application in there, so we'll look forward to finishing up that process, and we look forward to welcoming you into the group as a regular member there. Good signal, Kent, so mighty fine. And anything else for the net this morning before we move on? Over. Oh, okay. So you're not going to take a stab at the answer?
Well, I think B for the first couple of us. Wow. That really no vehicle.
Okay. Was that B Bravo?
Roger.
Okay, we got you down there. They are matched, by the way, so if you get one, you get both of them. We put you down for BB. Mighty fine, Ken. Let's see, there's another one out in New Jersey, November 2, Lima, Oscar. Bob, if you're there, go ahead. You're up for the net, W5OG. November 2, Lima, Oscar, are you there this morning, W5OG? He's offline. He checked out. All right, I see that now. Let's see. How about W2BET checked out also. All right, that's the visitors. Let's go back to the top of the list. And that next would be John. WA6LJS. Thanks for the help, John, as always. And good morning again to you. And you're up, W5OG.
Okay, thank you, Dale. W5OG, this is WA6LJS. Good morning to everyone. Good conditions this morning. I'm hearing everybody on the local receiver. I do have the SDRs on, but haven't needed them so far. Anyway, let's see. It's currently 50 degrees here. Pretty clear. We've got some big white puffy clouds, but when I woke up this morning, we had a little bit of light rain, and I think that's blowing through, so it should be a nice day once these clouds blow away. Answer to the question, well, I'm going to follow the semi-limbing line. I'm going to say Delta for the first one, the Republic of Philippines. And that automatically makes Delta the magic carpet operation the second choice. So put me down for double D. And we'll be here to the bottom. W5OG, WA6LJS.
All right, mighty fine, John. Yeah, I got you down double D there. Dale. All right, let's go to Bob. Good morning there, Bob, and hopefully you haven't fallen over now with Lynn not there to help you out. So, anyway, I'm not making light of it, but you do take care of yourself, Bob. Don't fall again, that's for sure. K1BOB, W5OG.
W5OG in the net. K1BOB. Well, good morning, everybody. Glad to be alive here, and I might not be if it weren't for my wife of coming up on 50 here pretty shortly, in another year maybe. So unless we get divorced, I don't think it's going to happen. Let's see. Thanks, Charlie, for running the live stream there. That sure does help, but not if I can't get the question right. I'm scratching my head on this. This is a head scratcher, as the professor says, and I'm stuck on this. I think everyone was there except for the Soviets, because they were still doing their thing. And I know the Japanese were worried about them, so and answers vary on why they weren't there. I'm very sure it's Bravo, though, so I don't know. There's something I'm missing in here. And the second one, I think it was Delta. I'm pretty sure it was Delta, the return of getting all those troops home from everywhere. But if it were B and match, that would be homecoming. And I think that was a Vietnam POW thing. We might have mentioned one time in the past. So I'm going to be the ugly duckling here and go Bravo Delta, Bravo Delta. And at the same time, I want to put a big welcome to Kent in North Carolina. Well, big signal here in Idaho there, Kent. Welcome to the Air Force Flyers Club Net. I think you'll really enjoy it. Quality a bunch of guys here. And once you have to get off for a week like I did with a fall, when you get back on, you sure realize the camaraderie that you missed for a week. So glad to be back and in the saddle. And thank you, Dale, for running the net, and thank you, Lee, for running the net logger. This is K1BOB Idaho, back to net control.
All right, mighty fine, Bob. So you don't like the way I put the question together? All right, Bravo Delta. All right, let's move along. Let's go to Frank. N4GYY. Good morning again, Frank. Glad to have you back in one piece there in Louisville, for sure. You're up, W5OG.
They've been on it for a while. There's good feedback on the line. And here's the common questions like yours. When you hear Louisville, first, that's some of you know how it is. A lot of things can be self-addressed. Especially all the way up relative sales for Indianapolis, where they're well canceled, it's not recent values in the East South. Right now, you've got 66 degrees outside, and it's going to be before all that happens. You can watch wind blow up to 50 mile an hour. And wind's very free. Most of the warnings, wouldn't get close to every 1 o'clock. So, it was as far as your question goes, I hung with the women line there and gave Delta on that, and it is good to be back on the air. So with that, I'll bring it back to you, Bill. W5OG and the Dream for GYY.
All right, mighty fine, Frank. Yep, glad to have you back there, and I know that you're getting all geared up for the Kentucky Derby, planning on getting out of town. My experience with being based there in Louisville and with UPS was that you avoided that week that, you stayed away from Louisville as far as you could during Derby week. Anyway, it is a wonderful, we look forward to that. It's like the Masters. It's just, it just marks springtime. There's something about it. And I'm not from Kentucky, although, I can't tear up when they sing My Old Kentucky Home. Anyway, mighty fine there, Frank. Glad to have you back. Bill, W2WLD. Good morning, Bill. You're up there, W5OG.
Yeah, good morning, Dale. Propagation is starting out very poor. It's getting marginally better, but not great yet here. Good morning, everybody. We are experiencing partly cloudy weather, and we might hit 70 today. Let's see. We did have a thunderstorm blow through here about 5 o'clock this morning. A couple pretty interesting cells, but nothing untoward. And it looks like it's clearing up well. As far as the question, if the operation to return troops was not called Magic Carpet, it should have been. So I like everybody else so far, I guess, is going to go with Delta. Dale, I got to be a one and done. I'll try to listen to the answer.
Well, glad to have you with us this morning, and we will bid you adieu and have a great day there also. 7-3, Bill. I got you down for Delta. And let's see, let's move along to, did we miss Frank's answer? Yeah, he had Delta as well. And also Bill. All right, let's go to Russ. K8 April Foxtrot. Good morning again, Russ. You're up, W5OG.
W5OG K8AF. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Dale, for running the net. I'll be one and done today because I got grandkids coming over that I need to babysit for, but I'll be monitoring, but I probably won't be able to get to the radio. But anyway, I'm going to buck the trend. I'm going to go with Bravo. For some reason, I think the Russians just said yet to come into the Missouri for whatever reason. So I'm just going to guess Bravo. I'm not sure about Operation Homecoming though, but I'll go with the match pair. So I hope everyone has a good day. Back to you, Dale. W5OG K8AF.
All right, mighty fine. You buck the trend, go with Bravo. Let's go to the professor. Oh, yeah, 7-3, Russ. Grandkids are important, that's for sure. So, anyway, have a great day, and we'll see you back tomorrow, hopefully. Bob, NX6RG. Good morning, Bob. You're up, W5OG.
W5OG, this is NX6RG. Well, good morning, Dale, and good morning to all the Flyers. Beautiful sunny day here in Northern California, so we're just going to enjoy the day today for sure. Anyway, interesting question. I'll tell you, if you hadn't paired those answers, I know I would get one, maybe two wrong. So I started scratching my head. I was going to opt for something different. But after a lot of head scratching, I finally settled on Delta. Now, I don't know if that's right or not, but at least several other Flyers think so. So anyway, we're going with Delta this morning, Dale. By the way, we had our Veterans Net last night on 2 meters and one of the repeaters, and one of the guys reminded everybody, hey, if you're thinking about buying some ham gear, new, and it's Japanese, you better buy it quick and hope your distributor has it in stock to avoid the tariff. So just a quick reminder to all the Flyers, with these tariffs, you may be paying more. If you're contemplating something, waiting for a Ham Vincent special may actually cost you money. So anyway, I thought that was a good point last night, so I thought I'd just pass that along. Anyway, 73s to everybody. I have to be one and done, Dale, and so we're going to go take Schroeder out there for his walk this morning. He loves the sunshine, and it's a good day for a walk here. Anyway, 7-3s, and we'll see everybody on the air probably on Monday because we're tied up tomorrow morning. W5OG and X6RG.
All right, mighty fine there. Bob, give him a pat on the head for us, for Schroeder there, and enjoy your walk together. That's great. Got your answer, Delta, after some consternation there. All right, let's see. You made me have to go back and bring up that website. Okay, anyway, let's move on. We'll talk about it some more at the end. Mike, Cam0OPE. Good morning, Mike. How are things in Nebraska today? W5OG.
Well, good morning, Dale. I'm back on the hex beam, so after I get off, you may comment on my signal. I couldn't find anything wrong with it, so we'll just try it out here. It is beautiful, kind of partly sunny day today here in Nebraska. Light winds. It's 45-ish on its way up to 56, I believe. Should be a nice day. I'm going to get to go fly later. I got to give a flight review to one of the pilots that I taught years ago. So anyway, I think Delta, I'm going to go with that, get in that lemming line. I'll be here till the bottom. Back to W5OG and the group, KF0OPE.
Okay, Mike, got you down Delta, and mighty fine. I enjoy those good days up there. That's great that you can go fly. Let's go to Jim, W6WAY. Jim, good morning again. You're up, W5OG.
Okay, W5OG, W6WAY. Let's see, I got the temperatures here. It was 47 when I first got up, and it's going to warm up to 64. So, and the sun is shining brightly. Let's see. I guess with Delta. It seems like that's what most people are choosing. So, we'll be down to one day. That's what you see with W5OG, W6WAY.
All right, Jim. Always a pleasure to hear your voice, and we got you down as Delta. It's cooler there in Corona than it was here this overnight. I don't think we got even into the upper 50s. It stayed relatively mild in the 60s, I think, overnight here because we had cloud cover all night. But anyway, it's going to be a pleasant day in the upper 70s only today. So mighty fine, glad to hear from you, Jim, as always. Let's go to Joe, W5ABI in Las Cruces. I know the weather's good there as well. W5OG. Good morning, Joe.
Yeah, good morning, Bill. W5OG, W5ABI. Kind of an overcast day here so far in Las Cruces. Had another windy day yesterday in dust storms. I don't think there's any high wind in the future. It's been different weather here, so now we got a cold front coming through. It's 55 now, only going up to 64, so had the air conditioner on for a moment, had to switch the furnace back to heat. So that's the first time I remember doing that. Anyhow, on your question, I'm going to go with double D, and we'll be here at the bottom. Thanks for running the net. W5OG, W5ABI.
Mighty fine, Joe. Your X-Beam doing a great job, as always, and got you down for Delta. All right, yeah, we've had several days now here of no heat, no cool, which is very nice. It gives you a little break on the utility costs, and anyway, we're enjoying this springtime weather for sure. Let's go with my younger brother, Brian, WB5DRI. Brian, hope everything's well with you and Susie. Love to you all down there. You're up, W5OG.
Okay, Dale, W5OG, WB5DRI. Well, good morning, Dale, and good morning to Carolyn there. Love to you guys, and good morning to all on the net. We've got a nice day going on down here in San Antonio, of course. It is a little overcast still this morning, but we're in the high 70s, about 77, and our high today is going to be around 90. So it's a typical early spring day for us down here, but it sure is starting to look nice down here. Everything is blooming and budding and coming out in full glory. So very nice weather and nice time of the year for San Antonio. And we got the Final Four going this weekend. Kind of interesting. Going to bring a lot of income and revenue into San Antonio. So folks down here are happy about it and happy to see all the fans of the NCAA finals there. So very good weekend for San Antonio. Lots of activities going on around this time of the year for San Antonio. We got the Fiesta coming up as well. Anyway, good to be here this morning, Dale, and hope you and Carolyn are having a good day up there, and everybody else as well. Loved your questions this morning. I was trying to remember the history of all that on the Missouri, and I was at first thinking that maybe the Soviets didn't show up, but I think think they did. But on your names there, that was the clincher for me. Operation Homecoming is really of course, the name of as we all know, the POWs being brought back from Vietnam after the Vietnam War. So I ruled that one out, and I didn't remember about Magic Carpet being the name, but I think that's the correct name for World War II and the return of the POWs, and that would make the Philippines the country that did not have representatives at the signing on the Missouri there after World War II, after the end of World War II. So interesting stuff. Great net. Enjoying all the comments and all the camaraderie here. I'll take her around to the bottom there, Dale. I turn it back to you. W5OG and the net. WB5DRI. Back to net. Good morning, everybody.
All right, Brian, mighty fine. Yeah, good signal. Yeah, I'm hearing you a bit locally here as well. So anyway, got your answers and all your great comments there. Let's go to Mike, KQ6E. Good morning, Mike. You're up, W5OG.
W5OG in the group, KQ6E. Another wonderful day in paradise. Only a little nippy today. It's only going up to 63. Next week we're going to be up into the 90s, so back into Arizona weather. So we'll get through this one. Can't complain, but it's a nice sunny day and should be all right. The XYL is doing great. She even wants to go out and do a little grocery shopping this morning. So she seems to be coming right along, and everything seems to be back on track. So we're really pleased with that after a week off. So anyway, on the question, kind of close to home, the USS Missouri, one of my buddies, actually we were very close work together over in Vietnam, Mike Higginbotham. Mike was the curator on the Missouri when we went over to Hawaii a few years ago. And we got the personal tour of Missouri and got down into places where most people don't get to go. So he took us through almost the entire ship. And even had our pictures taken there in the captain's quarters, which is normally off limits to the tours and stuff. So interesting stuff to get into the bowels of that ship and get a close-up look at everything. So I'm going to go with Delta, and just for my little history lesson from Mark, and remembering that the Philippines did not participate. And the other thing is, he came back on the Queen Mary from World War II, so I do remember that. So anyway, good to hear everybody this morning. Everybody coming through. It's not direct over the SDR, so we shall see. But we'll turn it back to you, and good to hear you.
All right, very, very fine there, Mike. Good comments. Interesting about all that, your connections there to the subject of the day. All right, let's move along to Charlie, K4YDB. Hope you're feeling well today there, Charlie, and thank you for doing the live stream as always. W5OG, you're up.
W5OG, K4YDB. Well, thanks, Dale. I hope everybody's having a good morning right now. It is currently 77 degrees here. We're supposed to get up to 87 today, but right now it is overcast. My dog is over here shaking, so she hears something. I don't hear it. But anyway, hope everybody's having a good morning. As far as the question goes, I'm gonna have to go. I know pretty sure that Delta on the bonus question is correct, but I have no idea about the Philippines. But so I'll go with Delta on this one. But that's all I got over here. I got another doctor's appointment. Actually, I got two today. I got one at 1 o'clock and I got one at 3:30. 3:30 one's when they're going to extract my tooth finally. Had a really rough night last night. But anyways, they're supposed to take it out today. They had to go through all their little preparation stuff and get make sure that I paid for it and do all that stuff like that. And so they just took care of it all. But anyway, that's all that's going on over here. So I'll turn it back to you, Dale. W5OG K4YDB. I'm back to net.
All right, Charlie. Mighty fine. Mighty good on all that. Just knock me out and get it over with. I know, and I've got a problem with my tooth coming up, so I'm going to have to take care of that. Anyway, good to hear from you as always, Charlie, and thanks again for the live stream. Let's go to Bob, K2SJP. Bob, which home are you in today? W5OG, you're up.
W5OG. This is K2SJP in Holiday, Florida. And we're operating remote. Everything's working good now. And we're happy about that. Good morning to everybody on the net today. We have right now 87 degrees. And it's climbing. It's been climbing. I wouldn't doubt it if it'll go over 90 today. The sun is shining really hot. You get into the sun, you really feel it. You can get yourself a good suntan out here right now. So it's getting hot. All of a sudden, it's like turning the switch on from one day to the other. A couple of days ago, it was kind of cool. Yesterday, it was warm, and today is really hot. On the question, well, I can remember the film of the Japanese in their top hats surrendering on the Missouri. And out of the list that you gave, the only one that did not appear for that signing on the Missouri was the Philippines. So Delta is the correct answer. And as far as the name of the operation, it was called the Magic Carpet. That's Delta. So my answer is Delta. And we could really thank Harry Truman for dropping those bombs on Japan. They saved many, many American lives. We lost enough at that war. We lost over 400,000. And it was almost 9-10 times more than Vietnam. And we would have lost a lot more had that not happened, and the Japanese would have continued that war on. So Harry Truman saved a lot of American lives. I believe he did the right thing, even though it's controversial. Yeah, a lot of Japanese died from the bombs, but that was war, and we're the ones who have to persevere to save ourselves. That's what it is. So we'll be here till the end. We'll be here on 73 round, Dale. Thank you for running the net. Great question. W5OG, K2S, JP.
Okay, mighty fine, Bob, and good comments there. Yeah, also, I'll just make the mention in passing, Harry Truman and Bess, they got in their car, their family car, and drove home back to Missouri after his presidency was over. Unbelievable compared to what happens, in our times. Anyway, mighty fine, Bob, and glad that you're able. Yeah, your signal sounds the same. It's great. So your remote operation is working very, very nicely for you. James, KG5PTE, you're up, James. W5OG.
W5OG, KG5PTE. Well, good morning, Dale. Thanks for running the net. Everybody's got an excellent signal in here. Bob, K2SGP, oh my God, you ran me out of the shack here. I mean, you're like you're sitting in the room with me. I mean, you're that close. Although you're 1,000 miles away, Bob, you are just literally right in the shack with me. Your signal is excellent, and so was K4YDB Charlie. I mean, he was literally in the room with me. And everybody else is kind of good on the electric radio, and for the most part on the Yaesu here. As far as the question goes, I'm going to go Delta, and I want to welcome the new flyer. I did not get that. What was his name? Kent, I think it was. I sent him a message on the AIM window about the YouTube channel, and he thanked me for it. Kent, W5OG. Want to welcome him to the flyers. And anyway, we're getting ready for the Ham Expo this weekend, and we are also getting ready for the weather. So we're keeping an eye on two things. And we have a club meeting tonight, so we're going to see how all this pans out with the details of the weather and the Ham Expo this weekend. So, Dale, thanks for running the net. And like I said, this last weekend we had an excellent time at Barksdale and had a great weekend there. And we're looking forward to a great weekend here at the Ham Expo, and we'll make the best of it with the weather. And in the meantime, I have started unplugging things, electronics in the house, because the weather service has changed the forecast again, and they are expecting some severe storms. So I'm unplugging a bunch of our electronics and radios, and I'm probably going to unplug everything else when I get done with the net here and leave it unplugged through the weekend. So with that, I'll turn it back to net control, and I'll be here for the 73 round at Echo Lake. W5OG KG5PT, back to net.
All right, James. Well, mighty fine, and good luck with your Ham Expo there. 5OG, you're up. KM4CAX, are you there, Jack? W5OG. Lee, are you getting him off of one of the SDRs? Perhaps he's just listening. Did you get him on the SDR there, Lee, N5BE, W5OG?
Yeah, W5OG. No, I'm not. I've got two SDRs, and I usually get them direct, and I got nothing.
Yeah, I don't. He has not been there, but we had him on the list. So anyway, a bit concerned about Jack. Hope he's doing all okay. All right, let's see. I think that's the bottom of the list. Oh, here. No, wait a minute. Brian is there, and Bob up in Longview, but he may be receive only. Let's go to Brian. KM6 Zulu X-Ray. Good morning, Brian. You're up. W5OG. All right, very fine, Brian, and they got your answer as Delta there. And I'll say good morning to Bob. He's receive only, according to, let me just see if he might be there. Can you transmit this morning there, Bob? W7ASH, W5OG, over. Anybody here? John, WA6LJS, did you hear him at all?
Negative. W7ASH, Bob, you're up. WA6LJS, relay.
Dale, he's received only in the AIM window, and he gave his answer Delta.
Yeah, I got it there, Lee. I thought we'd just take a quick standby just in case he might change his mind. All right, we also have listening Norm as a frequent listener, November 9 Kilo Juliet November. Good morning to you, Norm. And then Mike, WW5ENZ up in Oklahoma City with the thunderstorms all around this morning. Good morning to you, Mike. And maybe you can join us over on Echo Link. I don't know. That's the bottom of the list unless I missed anybody going through. Did I miss anyone? Call now, W5OG. All right, don't hear any response, so let me go ahead and get the question out of the way right quick. Yeah, the Japanese surrender on September the 2nd, 1945, aboard the battleship Missouri in Tokyo Bay marks the official end to World War II. Which of the following Allied nations did not have representatives present to sign the surrender documents? And the answer is Alpha, the Republic of China. No, they were there. The answer Bravo, the Union of the Soviet Socialist Republics. Yes, they were there also. And Charlie, the Kingdom of the Netherlands, they were there. Delta, the Republic of the Philippines, there was no such thing at that time, if you recall. Thanks to, again, President Truman, the Philippines got their independence the next year. They didn't get it until 1946, so there was no such thing as the Republic of the Philippines in 1945. And that, if you remember the history, we got the Philippines at the turn of the century, back in the Spanish-American War, and the Battle of Manila Bay, and of course along with that we got Cuba, and of course Cuba got their independence much earlier. But we didn't give the Philippines didn't get their independence because of the Japanese occupation came in when the Japanese moved across the whole Pacific. Well, you know the history and MacArthur and all that. Same one that gave the wonderful speech there on the deck of the Missouri. Anyway, there was no such thing as the Philippines, so that answer was Delta. I was looking for. And the Dominion of New Zealand, they did have representatives that signed the document. If you get the chance to Google that, bring it up on the internet, it's available. The document that MacArthur used for his speech. The whole speech is written out there, and he invites each individual representative of those allied nations to sign the document. Pretty serious stuff, and great bit of history there. And of course, the bonus question was the answer was magic carpet. I was not really, I didn't remember that necessarily, but when I got to looking at it, if you look at the number of ships that took part in that magic carpet operation, it's incredible. The Pacific Ocean, they followed the Great Circle route, just like we did in the airplane. And you could almost walk on those ships carrying people back to the States after the war. And it was quite an extensive operation. Operation Magic Carpet. All right, well, I do appreciate all the great answers and good comments there. And I guess that's probably enough, but we will go through a quick 72 round. I think we'll just have time if we limit our comments here, perhaps. We do have to get out of the way for the next net that starts a couple of kilohertz up at the bottom of the hour. All right, let's see if Don is still there, and I see that he is not there, so we'll wish best regards to Don and move to Uncle Cliff, W5PIX Mobile. 7-3 round, Cliff, W5OG.
All right, Dale, I hear you on electric radio in the background there, and I'll say 7-3's off, so show echo link. I got to get ready to go down to Austin, Georgetown, Austin. W5PIX back to W5OG. And it wasn't easy, but I got it right.
Yeah, you did, Cliff. I'm fine. All right, we'll see you on Echo Link. Larry, KB0LTT. 7-3 round, Larry, W5OG.
Now, very good, Dale. I actually hear you now. I actually hear you Q5. I'm about F7, but it's Q5 copy. 73s to everybody from KB0LTT en route to Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah, I can hear you also there, Larry, and I did turn the antenna a bit towards Washington State there, just if I could hear Bob. Anyway, drive carefully today and have a great one, and we'll hopefully see you on Echo Link. Lee, N5BE, final comments there, Lee, W5OG.
W5OG N5BE, one quick comment. What is unacknowledged by most people and not known by most people is the millions of people that were saved by ending this war as quickly as it could happen. Not our group, because we were not going to invade Japan. Truman had made that decision in July. But the millions that were dying from starvation in China, in what is now Indonesia, and what is now Vietnam, by the brutality brutality of the Japanese occupation forces. Those millions ended up being saved by the ending of the war. Thank you, Dale. Good question. W5OG N5BE.
Yeah, fine, Lee. Always thoughtful, provoking comments there from you, and we do appreciate that. Yeah, I had not put it in that perspective necessarily, but that is exactly right. The whole world was, relieved and just brought out of the terrible situation that was World War II, for sure. All right, let's move along. We'll go to John, WA6LJS. Final comments, John, W5OG.
Okay, thanks, Dale. This is WA6LJS 73. It's a very nice net today, Dale. And Don did pass his 73s. He had to run, so that's why he wasn't back for the 73 route. So have a good one, guys. We'll catch you tomorrow. WA6LJS, back to net.
All right, John, 7-3. See you maybe for a short period over on Echo Link. Commander Bob, K1BOB. Hopefully you're still upright there, Bob. You haven't fallen asleep or anything. You're up, W5OG.
Oh, I'm still here, listening intently, Dale. This is K1BOB. Very good question today, and I learned never go against the lemmings. There's quite a few in front of me, so I need to learn to think like a lemming a little more. Anyway, I loved your rundown on all that, all the post-war stuff there. Very interesting, and I think what the Japanese didn't also know at the time, obviously, was we already had a nuke built and ready to send over there for a third nuclear weapon, and they had resources and enough uranium to make another 8 nukes after that if we needed to, but that probably didn't come out so many years later. Anyway, great job, and and again, welcome to Kent there in North Carolina. Welcome to the fold, Kent. Glad to have you. K1BOB, back to W5OG.
Yeah, very fine, Bob. We can sit around and talk about this, and I was thinking last night, actually, about what a different world we would have had Japan won the war. You don't think about those things, but I remember when Dad, when he saw the number of airplanes in Europe in VJ Day, absolutely incredible. He said there was no question in his mind he was going to win the war at that time. Of course, Germany had already, the war was over in Europe previous to this, but can you imagine what it would be like if the Japanese won and Germany had prevailed? Incredible, and you know that the outcome was didn't happen the way it did. It turned out, but yeah, I'm convinced that they would have kept Truman would have kept using those. He was not going to invade Japan. They knew better than that because the people would have fought to the last. Incredible the amount of death and carnage. But Lee's comments were right on target as far as the rest of that whole Indo-Pacific area. A lot of suffering went on as a result of the harsh domination of the Japanese. Even to the point of Guam, if you remember, they were harsh taskmasters. That's for starters. Anyway, we'll go on and talk about this some more perhaps on Echo Lake Round. KF0OPE, Mike, 7-3 round, W5OG.
Well, good net today, Dale, and good question. Appreciate you running the nets and Lee running net logger. 7-3s, everybody. Have a great day. I got to run out of here. So back to W5OG and the net, KF0OP.
All right, Mike, have a great flight today. Let's move along to Jim, W6WAY, 7-3, Jim, W5OG.
Okay, W5OG. Dale, W6WAY, 73WY.
All right, Jim. 7-3 to you there in Corona. Have a great day. Joe, W5ABI, 7-3, Joe. W5OG.
Yeah, W5OG and the Flyers W5ABI. Good net, good question. Thanks for running the net. 73 to you and all the Flyers. W5OG, W5ABI.
7-3, Joe. Brian, WB5DRI. Final comment, I don't like to use that word final, but last minute comments there, Brian, W5OG.
Okay, Dale, W5OG, WB5DRI. Well, great net, Dale. Some of the best propagation conditions I've had here in San Antonio in weeks. Heard just about everybody on the electric radio this morning, and everybody, most stations were very strong. So amazing. Anyway, 73s, everybody. Thanks again, Dale, for a great net. Enjoyed it, as always. Great comments and learned some things. It was super duper. Should be on Echo Link on the Alpha Foxtrot Charlie conference node for maybe one round. W5OG, WB5DRI. Back to that. Good day, everybody.
All right, Brian. Of course, you got that magic oak tree. You automatically have good propagation. 7-3, Brian. Mike, KQ6E, 7-3 round, Mike, W5OG.
W5OG is a good another great session. Trying to tickle the memories here with the USS Missouri and Mike leading back in my tour there. And it was good to hear everybody and the stories. And hopefully we'll be back in here tomorrow and keep things going as long as the stays healthy. So we've got a good shot. So this is 5OG in the group.
Yeah, fine, Mike. Yeah, actually, I got a tour of the Missouri when it was up at Bremerton there near Seattle, and that was a great experience before it went over to Pearl Harbor, where it is now. But that's where it should be, right there with the Battleship Missouri memorial. That is the beginning of the war and the end of the war, right there together. 7-3, Mike, and have a great day. Charlie, K4YDB, 7-3, Charlie, W5OG.
W5OG, K4YDB. Well, good net today, Dale. Thanks for running it. 7-3s, everybody. Everybody have a great day, and we will be here tomorrow, I hope. K4YDB back to net.
All right, Charlie. Thanks for the live stream again. Bob, K2SJP, 7-3, Bob, W5OG.
W5OG, K2SJP. 73s, Dale, and everybody, and we'll see you guys over on Echo Link. W5OG, K2SJP.
Yeah, 7-3, Bob. James, KG5PTE, last comments, W5OG.
W5OG, KG5PT. Well, IL-73s, everybody. I will probably be receive only tomorrow, and I'll be receive only Saturday, because everything will be unplugged, and I will be at Ham Expo. 7-3s, and I'll catch y'all on Echo Link.
All right, fine, James. Well, good luck with the expo there for sure. Kent, W4JJF, 7-3 round, Kent, W5OG. All right, Kent, there's a bit of RF, I think, sinking into your signal there. You got a strong signal, but it was a bit distorted because of a little RF. So, I don't know, you might check that out. Listen to your signal on the SDR there, perhaps, and see if you can work that out. I don't remember it being this before, so that was brand new there. So, anyway, that's just it, that. Brian, KM6, Zulu X-Ray. Brian, 7-3 round, W5OG. Brian, are you there? KM6ZX, W5OG. No, I don't hear Brian. Last call, KM6 Zulu X-Ray. Are you there, Brian? W5OG. Well, I don't hear him at all. Anyway, I guess we can check him out, and that would be the bottom of the list unless I missed anyone. Did I miss anybody, or do we have any last-minute comments before we close the net? Call now, W5OG.
Kilo India 4, India November Golf. Comment.
Yes, stand by, John, over the comment. Kilo India 4, India November Golf. Your name and QTH, over.
My name is Raul, Romeo Alpha Uniform Libra. I'm located down here in Brandon, Florida, which is Tampa Bay.
All right, Raul. I think you've checked in with us before. Anything for the net? We're just about ready to close, Raul, over.
QSL. No, I was just kind of passing through. I was trying to figure out, look like that call sign is very familiar. The W5OG. I was just trying to see where I know it from. But nevertheless, the weather here is about 88 degrees. Other than that, everything is great. Over.
All right. Well, I know where Brandon is, and my younger sister lives in Bradenton, just a little bit further south of you there. Anyway, 7-3, Raul. Thanks for checking in. Now, do you have a comment, John? WA6LJS. Go ahead.
Yeah, I had a question for Kent, W4JJF, if he's still in there. I think he said that he filled out an application, and I haven't received anything yet. I just checked. I didn't receive anything. Kent, are you copying me, W4JJF, WA6LJS?
W4JJF, are you still there, Kent, at W5OG?
He shows checked out in the AIM window.
Yeah, I guess he's gone, John. Yeah, thank you, Lee. All right, any other last comments before we close? W5OG, call now. It is the Air Force's, or was the Air Force's Flyers Club net on here every day starting at 1500 Zulu. It's a group of ex-military aviators from all branches. What was your call again, please? All right, your name? Tango India Mike Tim. Mighty fine. Thank you, Tim, for checking in. Yeah, Air Force's Flyers Club net. Come back and join us whenever you can. We're on every day. 7-3 to you. All right, this has been the Thursday edition of the Air Force's Flyers Club net. Been my pleasure to be your host and net controller today, W5OG. Now we'll go ahead and terminate the net, and we'll invite those that would like to come join us over on EchoLink. We do have an EchoLink node. It's AFFC under the conference tab of EchoLink. Those of you that are able to do that, come up and join us there on EchoLink. W5OG now closing the net, returning the frequency to normal amateur use. 7-3 all. Have a great day.